You know, years ago, going back 40 years, we used to do lots of bedding plants on the nursery. And in them days, you'd use old orange boxes. But now, we cut that stage out. Mainly because it's a bit, it was a nightmare for a dark job. You'd sit there for like hour upon hour, pricking out seedlings into these orange boxes. 8 down, 5 across, 40 in a tray. Oh. Yeah, it weren't a job anybody had like. And anyway, these days, so many plants have got plant breeders' rights on. You can't propagate them, you can't take cuttings from them, they don't come true from seed. So it's much easier to buy them in as where the first 2 stages, the sowing or the cuttings and the growing on, have been taken care of. So we skip those 2 stages, and I'll show you how we do it at Eggleston Hall Gardens. So one of the first things that we need to do is to prepare some pots. These are in trays of 20. Piles and piles of them. Some garden centres and nurseries have machines to do this, but we haven't. We just have people. And you're doing what there?
Just filling pots.
This is what it's mean. You're a human machine, aren't you?
Yep. We can fill them with compost.
So we do squares, and then we do some smaller round pots. These will be for alpines and for herbs. No, the herbs will go into the square pots, but these will be for alpines and some of the plants that will take it a little bit drier. This time of the year, it's really important to get ahead by preparing pot after pot after pot. You've got 25,000 young plants coming in. It's useful. Look at that. The human dynamo. This is the situation where Robert becomes like a dog with 2 dicks. How much do you love Curnock coming, Robert?
Love it. What about Liz?
Liz likes Curnock. Now look at that. That's what I likes to see. Whoa, 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 whoa. Come on, like a couple of fannies there.
Well, I'm going that way. Right, well after...
There was something blocking the whole of the camera there.
I thought there was a total eclipse. There we go.
We're doing conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Someone's just stood doing now.
I'll film.
Hey, I'm doing my bits. Some of the items that we get in can take cold glasshouse cover. It's important that we harden the stuff off gradually to cold. At the moment, it's a problem for us because the heating or the temperatures are very low. And some of this stuff will have come out of a polytunnel or large glass houses. Things like these violas need put into 9cm pots. Rhodohypoxis, they need to go. And then, once it's all in, it'll have to be sprayed with a fungicide. other items have to have a certain degree of heat. So they go in a warmer glass house. This one's used for growing on tree peonies, and it has one or two quite industrial heaters in here to keep the temperature up to about, well, between 6 and 10. These are petunias, bacoas, all sorts of things that will become basket plants, bedding plants, patio plants. It's not really our thing to do these things, but we have to supply our customers with what they need earlier in the year. Eggleston Hall Gardens and Plantsman's Corner are really based on hardy plants, grafted plants, conifers, maples, dogwoods, and a wide, vast range of perennials. But we have to do some of these things for people. And we don't mind doing them, but they're not our speciality. But we do them well. Or at least we try to.
No, it's not good.
What are you doing there?
Sorting out the labels.
Mm-hmm. Does that just make it easier?
Yeah. Take a bit of time.
You just do one slowly, Elizabeth, so we can see how it goes in. Very delicate hands. Say something, Elizabeth, even if it's just bollocks.
Bollocks.
How disgusting. So we're clearing the benches and everything will be processed quite quickly. Well, that would take a few days, but look at that lot in there. Look, that's bloody marvellous. That is. Look at them. They're like worker bees.
You're just a big queen bee.
So we feed him.
Or a drone.
Yeah, drone on a bit.
Right, double white. Have we got double white, Helen?
I don't know, but you have to know.
That's a good answer, that, Helen. Make the fucker work himself.
There you go, Rob. There's some more double white.
I might do actually.
Yeah. I'll keep you right, it's okay.
Can't beat using your finger, can you?
Was that a double entendre, Robert? Was you being smutty there, Robert?
If your mother could hear you now.
Exactly. I'm embarrassed. I can feel myself colouring up. Once they finished with plants in the potting shed, they're barred up the top of the garden into one of the tunnels. Here, we're doing some herbs. They don't need quite as much heat. These are alpines. One of the girls is doing alpines at the moment. I think that's Elizabeth, and I think Helen is doing the herbs. It's all part of the processes that we've developed over the years. And we kind of, it's kind of second nature to us now. It's effective. I reckon you're getting bloody slower at them. So we're coming towards the end of the day. Are you bored yet?
No,
Are you telling me that you really, really like doing
I
these?
love doing this.
Really?
Yes.
You're not pulling my plonker?
No, you know I do.
Really? I never knew you really liked doing them.
Are you bored?
Am I bored? I'm bored looking at your fucking ugly face.
Can't answer that.
Yeah. I think you're getting a bit slower as well. And so it goes on. There'll be a couple of weeks of this. Are you bored, Elizabeth? Slightly. Elizabeth's shyer than the rest of us. Well, you've only been doing it for one day.
Phil holidays the rest of the week.
Get out of it. You'd be like Helen. She loves doing it. And doing plants and all. Of course, we always live with the problem of heat. Everything has to be kept warm at this time of the year because at Eggleston Hall Gardens we're at nearly 1,000. Is it 1,000 feet above sea level, Robert?
Just about.
Yeah. Whatever. It's bloody cold. And you know, we might get a power cut, and by fleecing, we can at least give ourselves something. What do you think? Something of an edge. Robert likes doing this. He's like putting his little babies to bed at night. Look, he even comes back and reads them a bedtime story, I reckon.
I will.
So there you are. That's how we deal with our plants. The bedding plants and some of the very young perennials. But you can only do it if you have good people with you. And the ones we have here, they're probably some of the best, apart from him. So there you have it. All the fun of the fair. It beats the days. Sat there for hours on end, getting bloody neck ache. Now we just get neck ache watering. It's a funny old life, isn't it? How things change. But really we can't, as I said before, we can't reproduce any of those plants because 75% of them are PBRs, you know, plant breeders' rights. And I think it's about a £20,000 fine if you get caught infringing those. But that's another story. And one I do go on about a bit. But anyway, here we've got enough to do. I've got 50 or 60 of these to divide up. These are a lovely little primula. But it's nice to know when I'm stood here, like a lemon, with a pipe in my hand, that all's well at Eggleston. It's all down to youngsters, you know.